And hello, folks. It is I, Kamikaze. I'm here to provide as much information as I can to make sure that, well, this is for a certain person. I'm not going to call out names or whatnot because, well, that's not really appropriate. But I'm going to provide all the information I can from the beginning of my mental decline to the current. I met Voldemort when she was 16. We didn't do anything. And then at 17, we got married with parental consent. So then that's legal. Then, since the first year of marriage, she was cheating on me. And cheated on me again and again and again and again and again throughout a decade of marriage. Eventually, I mean, there's no reason to even bother with all the details in there. But every time she cheated, I told her, like, the person was bad, the person was manipulative, blah, blah, blah. Every time I was correct. And then it still didn't matter. She kept, doing, those things, and I kept trying, and I just kept stabbing more and more at my brain. The only reason I'm even functioning this much is because I'm on meds. Because, meds are great, right? Anxiety, definitely social anxiety, and depression. But the day after the divorce talk happened, I tried to kill myself twice. Same night. Didn't work. Obviously, because I'm still here. And while trying to work and whatnot, I pretty much declined. I would work, delivering newspapers was fine. I didn't have to deal with people or anything. I put papers in boxes and went about my way. I worked at JCPenney, and I did my job really well. But the thing was is that I did it well, and then I went and hid, whether it was in the bathroom or it was in a storage room or whatnot, because I just couldn't deal with a lot of people, a lot of noises, a lot of anything, and it was just getting worse. Then JCPenney closed, and well, the crashing of the cars, that's unimportant when it comes to the road conditions that the newspaper had. My mother moved down to a house down the street from my dad, and she was frail, but I mean, she was up and moving about and so forth. And this is where things kind of declined more. I helped move in. I helped. She wanted the upstairs, gave her the upstairs. Then she wanted the downstairs, so I moved all of her stuff downstairs. And the downstairs had everything she needed: bathroom, bedroom, living room, storage, all of that. And then about 6 months, she was just starting to decline, starting to eat less and so forth. And I kept trying to get her to eat more food, drink stuff besides, well, alcohol. Um, and then she just kept eating less and less, and she kept getting sick. And I did everything I could. Pretty much, I didn't go and get another job like JCPenney. I was still delivering papers. I mean, that was still money coming in. But I didn't go for a second job because I was trying to make sure that I was doing my best to take care of her. I tried to do everything to provide her with the amenities she needed and all this other stuff. Tried to get her to get out. I even had this thing set up in my room. It was this thing that went on the wall, and it had two different things. It had a blue light and a red light. And she downstairs, she had two buttons. Blue, I was for her to get my attention. I needed to go down there. Red was an emergency, in case something really bad was happening. Like if she fell down and couldn't get back up, or otherwise. The blue one was just if she wanted me to do something or whatnot. I went and got her whatever food she wanted, but then she would eat like none of it. I helped her off the floor. I tried to do everything I can, but then it reached the point were the last 4 months. The 4 months she literally just declined. She pretty much never ate, never did anything, never left the bedroom. I found out apparently during that time she was doing meth. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? She never told me anything about the drugs she did or otherwise. She told other people. And so apparently she was doing that, which I would have had no fucking idea. And she was declining. She slept all the time. I did everything I could to try and get her up, get her food, get her drink, and it took me months. We're talking like it took me about 6 months. Let's say in the last 4 months, it took me 2 months to get her to go to the doctor. Got her to go to the doctor. And no, about a month in of that 4 months, I got her to go to the doctor. The doctor said she needed to go to like a rehab for about 3 weeks to, start walking normally again. During those 3 weeks, she started just declining even more. She couldn't remember where she was. She was asking for cats that weren't there. I visited her every single day. Every single day. There was not a day that I missed. And every time I walked in, there was something else. They had to put the bed on the floor because she kept trying to, crawl out and go do stuff that didn't make any sense. I walked in there and she was getting dressed and getting up, and I'm like, what are you doing? She says, I'm going to take Grandma to lunch. My grandma's been dead for a long time. She started asking where the cats were, and I was like, the cats aren't here. She's like, why? And I'm like, because you're in a rehab center to walk again. And then she's like, I can walk fine, and she couldn't even stand up. And as things were declining, I was trying to cover all aspects. Before this even happened, when she moved down, she told me that she had a will that had only Patrick, which you guys don't even know who that is, but only her ex-husband on it, and she got rid of that because he hasn't been in the picture because he is a horrible individual. And so she wanted to get another will done, but she never got around to it. Since there was no will, and I'll get to that later, it would cause other problems. As she was declining, I got the power of attorney so that way I could take care of her bills and so forth, because she couldn't do it herself. Then it went to the point that she was even getting worse. I had to take her into the clinic every so often and try and get her tests and so forth to see like what is going wrong even more. And so then I ended up getting because I tried to prepare for the worst that could happen. So I had her make a will. I had 2 witnesses sign it and whatnot, so all the stuff goes to me, but I wasn't trying to do it in like any kind of selfish aspect. All this was happening, and I don't even fucking know what I was going to do. I mean, because if a will wasn't made, if she were to pass, everything would go to the state. Everything, just because it had no other place to go. So, I mean, that had to be done. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to deal with the money things and so forth, and I'm, like, declining myself mentally, dealing with people and things and just life, and my brain doesn't work like I want it to anymore. It doesn't. I go out into public, even with just a few people around, I feel like everyone's judging me. Everyone hates me. That they look at me like I'm a freak. I can't be out on my own because and I do. I get out occasionally in the slowest times I possibly can to get some stuff done, whether it be some shopping, whether it be really anything. And it's just, once I see people, I'm afraid that they're looking at me. Hold on. I don't hide behind my computer. My computer right now is the social life I have. I don't have to worry about anything on the computer. If anything starts going wrong, I can turn the computer off, turn the internet off, do something else entirely. I have control here, where I feel like I have as much control as a meteorite striking Earth right now. If I go outside, kind of thing. I don't want to be like this. I don't. I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to deal with people and so forth. But like for Christmas, tried to go out. Went out with. I'm not even going to talk about that. How bad the Christmas was for other reasons. But I went with my dad to this free like dinner buffet thing. There were so many people. I had to go. I mean, I wasn't even in there for like 5 minutes. There was so many people, so much noise, so many people looking. I went back and sat in my dad's truck. That's exactly what I did. It's just I could deal with a couple people. You know, maybe 2 or 3 people around me. I can be able to talk and pay attention and so forth, but there's just too much. My brain explodes. I don't know how else to explain it. But I don't hide behind my computer. Especially when my mother was not doing well. That's what I had the buttons for. I was there and whatever I was doing, I dropped and went to do whatever she asked me to do. Whether it had to do with lawn or food or dishes or anything of the sort. I mean, I had to clean up food down there that she ended up spilling or otherwise. I mean, there was a huge ass stain after everything of cigarettes, beer, beverages, soups, moldy food, ants. I was doing my best to take care of all of it. And while she was in rehab, and I mean, she was supposed to get better. She was supposed to get better. She was being cared for by nurses and people, and she wasn't getting better. I ended up taking her into the walk-in clinic, and the first thing that happened is they checked her blood oxygen, and it was at 80. This is after weeks in the rehab center, and her just declining. Times she was like starting to do good, and then she just went back down. Good, went down. Then she just kept going down mentally. It was near impossible to have any kind of conversation. Then ended up the low oxygen thing. Ended up taking her up to the ER. And they had to immediately hook her up to an oxygen thing. And I still was visiting every day. And she just kept trying to take off the mask. They even mentioned that they keep having to sedate her so she doesn't take off the mask. Went and talked with her, and when she was awake, and she tried to take off the mask, and I literally had to tell her, if you do that, you will die. And the last thing my mother said to me was, don't forget the lettuce. People in the Discord know this. There's a lettuce emote and whatnot, and don't forget the lettuce. That was the last thing I ever heard my mom say. How's that for final words? As things started declining, I contacted my brother. And I talked to him, and they the doctor said that she would have to be essentially sedated and attached to an oxygen machine continuously, and that there was like not really a chance of recovery. And so they were going to try and do a steroid thing to make her lungs stronger. And if that didn't work, then there's not much that could be done. Then the next day, he told me he tripled it afterward, and it did no effect as well. Is my computer went to standby. And this is after the first time my brother came down. I told him to come down again because the doctor said that she could be, if there was a possibility of recovering, that if she recovered, she probably would be a vegetable. And I know my mom wouldn't have wanted to live like that. I contacted my brother and I told him, and he came down and we agreed that it was better to pull the plug than to essentially have a vegetable mother where she would not have wanted to have been. And at this time, I'm dealing with all these different lawyers, credit card companies, bills, mortgage stuff, all this stuff I'm having to deal with, and my dad is helping me as much as he can to try and do some of this, and I couldn't be I couldn't be there at the end because I'm already having enough issue remembering all the bad things that have happened in life. The last thing I could ever live with was watching her go. I couldn't have that ingrained in my brain. I couldn't live with that ingrained in my brain. I already have enough time with it because I still can't believe she's gone. I keep dreaming that she's... I am not going to freaking cry. I refuse. Did enough of that. Medication helps. It prevents me really from getting mad or just I couldn't have that in my brain. I could not have that in my brain. I could not have that in my brain. I already have sitting in that waiting room in my brain, staring at the floor, as my brother was in there. I feel like I didn't do enough, but I did everything. I was at her beck and call. I was making sure I was there every day at any time she needed, and I don't feel like it was enough. Nope, nope, nope. I feel like there's more I could have done, but everyone tells me that there wasn't, and it doesn't help because it feels like it's my fault. Then getting told that it's my fault doesn't help at all either. But after she passed, I gambled, but I never really lost anything. I kept winning, and sometimes I lost, but overall, I ended up winning over like 4 or 5 grand, which ended up going into a website called Toreba. Um, in the end of playing Toreba and gambling, I was actually up about $3,000. So I didn't lose any money. I didn't know what else to do between dealing with the lawyers, the the creditors. I had to pay off over like freaking $30,000 in credit card bills from here to there to there to there. I was having to pay mortgage for like the next like 8 months, which was another like 10 grand. I mean, my mom had money in the safe and it all disappeared in a short amount of time from all this stuff. Then money arrived from like one thing or another, but then it just went out the door again because there was still things to be paid. I was losing my mind. And eventually I asked my dad to help because I couldn't manage it, and if I went down again the gambling Toreba thing, then I might lose and I might end up being negative in money. And I didn't want that to happen, so I essentially just handed all the money to him and said, "Help, help." So he was helping me take care of making sure the mortgage and the bills were paid on time, reminding me of of things. I had to go and deal with a lawyer, and it took forever to deal with anything. And then every time money came in, it just had to go right back out. And I hate money. And when my brother was down here, I spent a bunch on him because I didn't know how much I'd be able to give him later because it just kept going away. I my mom was gone and I don't know what I was. Without the help of my dad, I don't know what would have happened financial wise. Things probably would have been repossessed or otherwise. The house sold for barely more than it, well, not even more. It was actually sold for less than what my mom paid for it, which meant that the money that came back, minus like the huge chunk the realtor takes out, there was like no money gained from that, but it was out of the way. This place, yes, 10 grand bought this place. Yes, 10 grand of the money went to me for this place. And then I paid for a year of rent here, and then sent my brother as much money as I could to, and I tried to make everything like a joke or something in like dark times. So me and my dad thought it would be funny. We took those like, you know, those collectible like, you know, like where you put a baseball card in the hard plastic thing. These were designed for dollars. Stuck $100 bills. Send them like $2,500. Put it in those, super glued it together, wrapped it up in duct tape, just for the lulz, just for the funny of it. To just something. Send him as much money as I could, without screwing myself over. And I and I was before my mother passed during the last months, I managed to get a therapist and a prescriber. I'm going back because I forget details, and ended up while there, they said that I should go on disability because I'm declining and my function is becoming more and more impaired. So by their suggestion, I applied for disability. Had to go through months and months and months of shit, then ended up getting a hearing, and pretty much like I barely was in the meeting and the judge was just like, "Yeah, you know what? You got it, go." They didn't need to call all the witnesses. They didn't need to contact anything after listening to me, listening to my therapist, and listening to an impartial person I've never met. They said, "Yeah, you're fucked up." I didn't want to be, on disability, but I can't function in society anymore. At the point I am at now, I have no money. Nothing. Because I may have been approved for disability, but they have not even started it in over a year. So I've had no money coming in. I'm supposed to get like, a large lump sum for all the time that was missed and start getting a per month thing, which hasn't happened. I'm living on fucking TV dinners. I mean, seriously, like, I'm living on TV dinners. Just like 1 or 2 a day. Usually 2 a day. I'm not starving. It's got like, protein, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not starving. Plus I have ramen and other things of the sort. I mean, I'm not starving. I have food. I am, surviving. That's not it. It's just I'm fucked. I'm fucked up, and right now I'm fucked until the state actually does something. I've been going in and out of sanity for a long time, as people have seen on the channel that there's been like huge dead spots. That's where I end up going and then stay for a while, no motivation, nothing. I get up, I watch Netflix, and then I go to bed. I mean, I went out today and got myself some food from the market. It wasn't that busy, but there was too many people around. I went and found a corner and had to get help from one of the employees to try and get some of the stuff I needed, because there was people in the aisles that I wanted. And not that I wanted people, but you know what I mean. There's stuff in the aisles I wanted. I feel like it's all my fault. Even when someone tells you that it's not your fault, it's still it doesn't stop the feeling. I don't know what else I could have done. Making this video because I've been blamed that it's my fault. And then I'm hoarding money. I mean, I'm surrounded by garbage, clothes. Nothing molding. I can't stand like smells and whatnot, but I've got like empty soda cases, cans, and I just wait, listen. I'm surrounded by all of it. I'm not gonna show you the shithole I have, let alone in the living room. I hate myself and I hate my life. And I'm fighting every day to not. And without my friends and the YouTube channel, I mean, I'd have absolutely nothing. I've got the small amount of family that I have left. And I've got everyone who's watching this that actually cares. I can't say that everyone cares. This is going to be downvoted by some people, complained at by some people. They think, you know what, they can fuck off. I wish people could, I wish I could just fix my brain in an instant, but I wish people could understand what's going on in my brain. Understand that pretty much all my memories of the last, freaking, 14 years, all I can remember is all the bad shit. Occasionally I remember, a good thing here or a good thing there, but everything else is shit is what I remember. There's not a day that goes by that I don't wish I was dead. There's not a morning I wake up that I wish I didn't wake up. I don't wake up looking forward to things. I want my brain to stop it. I'm trying medications, various kinds of medications prescribed to me to make sure that I actually sleep well, that I actually think well, and so forth. And right now, the only things that's got me even remotely stable are these, but it's actually made my memory go even further out the window. But I don't care. This has been the most help so far, medication-wise, to get me to actually function. It's calmed down my anxiety enough that I actually went out to the store and dealt with people twice this week. Twice. And that's the most I can say out of a long time. And that's and when I say that, that's by myself. I've been able to go out with my dad being there, and it's been easier because I have someone I know right there. I have the anchor that's making sure that I am not alone. Someone if I were to completely start freaking out, that I can say, get me out of here, and they will lead me out. My brain will cause me to start losing track of where I am, even though I could be in a familiar place. I don't function. I want to function. I'm trying to function. You can't just tell me to get over it, or it's all in my head. That's what people keep telling me, that it's all in my head. Oh, you'll get over it. Hey, don't be depressed. Be fine. Yeah, that works. I'm great. All good now. I just want you to know that there's not a day that goes by that I don't feel like it's my fault for everything, from my marriage to my mother's passing. It's just, I feel like I didn't do enough for any of it. And that I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve to live. I mean, there is no way of describing being depressed. People just think depression's oh, I'm sad. And then you just get over it. It's not. It's not multiple voices in your head, but it's those thoughts in your head that just keep going, guess what? I'm not going away. And you're just trying to push it away, and then you're busy fighting that, trying to deal with life itself at the same time. And it doesn't work. And then you add anxiety on top of that, and you start just freaking out at dumb things. You start becoming anxious and fidgety and tapping leg and all sorts of shit. I mean, there's no explanation. There's none that someone with issues like this that can explain what it's like. It's not a switch. Being bipolar. A lot of people use the excuse going from, just fine to being a total bitch. No, that's just being a total bitch. Bipolar doesn't work that way. Go talk to a therapist. Go online. Google it. You will see from all these medical sources. Look at the medical sources, and you'll find out that that's not how it works. It's not a switch. It doesn't flip. This video has only one purpose for one person. But it's public because I don't want to hide anything from anyone. In the end, I feel like I forgot the lettuce. And that all of this is all my fault. I don't need people telling me that it's my fault because I already have to deal with that. I just feel like it's my fault. You know what? Why the hell not? I usually don't share my name or anything of the sort like that online. Like, I was hiding my face for the longest time. My name is James. Now you all know what my first name is. And I literally live day to day not wanting to live anymore. That the thought of my mother's passing, the thought of death, suicide, and all the things wrong that have happened in my life that just like pop up and go, hey, guess what? You're going to dwell on this for like the next half an hour. That's great. Fortunately, the meds make me forget some of those things like shortly afterward, or I distract myself with 3 shows playing at the same time. And if you wonder how I'm able to do that, fuck if I know, but it lets me do it. I don't live for myself anymore. I may have at one point, but I don't anymore. I literally, and this is stupid, I live for my dad, for my stepmom, for my brother. I live for every one of the people on the channel. Every one of the friends that I have online. Those are the people I live for. And then it's that's it. I don't care what happens to me. People ask, do you fear death? No, I don't. I welcome it. I mean, I've almost died in 2 car crashes. I've explained it in the past before, and literally the only thing that went through my mind was, ah, shit. Didn't freak out, didn't tense up, didn't like, I was like, well, fuck. There goes a car. I'm trying to get absolutely everything out I possibly can. I live for my niece and nephew. The Nitwits, you've seen them. I feel like I've been... I don't know. I don't know anymore. Get my mouse pad. Because there's fuzz all over it. I mean, honestly, what do you want from me? What is it? What do I want from me? I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not worthless. I know I'm not, but I feel worthless, and I can't stop it. I mean, people can confirm it with me, and then I can be like, yeah, I know I'm not worthless, but guess what? I still feel worthless. I feel like I shouldn't be alive. I should be alive. I should care that I'm alive, but I don't. But I do for other people. I ask myself why. I mean, because I've thought about all of it. I mean, like, if I'm dead, why should I care? I won't be there to, deal with other people's tears. But then I do care because I don't want to leave them in tears. I thought my brother understood me. Doesn't make me love him any less. Doesn't make me hate him. But I guess he doesn't understand me how I thought he did. That's primarily what this video is about. Because apparently I'm lying, I'm selfish, and it's all my fault. Then I already feel that way. But I've got no money. I got nothing to give him. Want the TV in the living room? Go for it. Does he want my computer? Go for it. I'll just use, I don't know, something else and play online. I don't care. I've got nothing else of value. My computer's really it. I got a shitty bed, sheets, some clothes. I generally wear the same stuff. Take a bath maybe, I don't know. Depends on how it goes, once every 3 days, once every week, sometimes even 2 weeks. But I don't look like it because I generally don't smell or become oily or anything of the sort. I know it's gross to say, but it's literally the extent of it. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have a wife and kids. I wanted people to stop lying to me. Stop hiding from me. I'm still looking for the reset button on life. Go back, change things, never marry Voldemort. Call her Voldemort. As much as I'd like to, shame her and say her name, her address, location, phone number, but I'm not an evil person. I don't know what to do anymore. Getting told some of this stuff behind my back is like worse than a knife. I did everything I could. I still feel like my mom should still be here. I don't hide behind my computer. I essentially live on my computer. It gives me people to talk to, people who respond with, people who will play games with me. It is my social life. Going out is like me going onto Discord and saying, hey, who wants to play a game? Just like if I went outside, I don't have any friends here anymore. They all moved. All of them. Every single one of them has moved out of town, out of state, or out of country. The entire group of people that I was socializing with literally within the same 6-month period all just went into itty bitty bits all over the planet. So this is what I have, and I'm trying to accept what I have and start building from there. I hope that given enough time, maybe changing meds a few times, some miracle through the therapist I talked to, and start going straight up. It's been long enough that my computer decided to do its thing again. Yeah, I'm trying to grow out and to see if I can get a beard for the first time ever in my life. I have never even grown it out this far before. At all. It has nothing to do with anything right now. Just a random thing. Because, I saw my face over here. I hate how I look. I hate how I sound. No matter how mad someone gets at me, I get mad back, but then I don't hate them. I always end up feeling like it's my fault, even if it's not. Time and time and time again. So I'm still around. I'm going to do what I can to keep surviving, keep at least going from day to day. Love you, subscribers. I love you, my friends. I love you, my dad, my stepmom, my stepsister, my mother who has passed. And I do love you, my brother, regardless how much you can hate me at times. I will never hold a grudge. Ever. It's not in my nature. Just like I may be upset at Voldemort, but I still don't have the ability to truly hate. I just feel like she's a stupid slut. But that's the truth. The last thing I said to her is I'd say go fuck yourself, but everyone else already has. That was the last thing I ever said to her. That's one of my happier memories. Ones I actually remember. I don't remember the whole long text that I sent, but I remember that last line. I love it. So this is your, and I'm hoping I didn't forget anything between the beginning and the end. I don't edit because you can't edit yourself in real life. Occasionally I edit something in a video to speed it up or waste of time or otherwise, but anything like information I've said I don't freaking cut out. And I always promise that if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. If you want something honest, I will let you know. I won't tell you like where I live, what's my phone number, and what's my bus size. But you know what I mean. So, now you know as much as I can remember at this point in time. And it's not like I'm going to make a secondary of this video or anything of the sort. I'm just getting literally everything out there. So that way, I don't even understand most of the things I said, but I'm hoping you understand at least what I try and do every day. Well, how I try and survive every day. And I've literally reached the point where I am totally financially fucked. That's just life. And I'm just waiting. The only thing I can do right now is sit here and wait. My fault I'm considered disabled. My fault that I'm on disability. It's my fault my mother died. It's my fault that I tried to kill myself. It's my fault that I don't want to live anymore. It is my fault. That's all that goes through my mind. My distractions are watching YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, talking with people online. I got a free year of Disney Plus from my cell phone, which was cool. And I make videos for all of you. And just having people watch them, comment, say hi. It actually, it does make me smile when I see a video and someone comments on what happened in the video. Or comments on something stupid I did. I mean, it lets me know that you're watching and you are enjoying it. And that makes me happy. That is what I get my happiness from right now. Is the fact that people enjoying what I do. I can pretty much crack almost every bone in my body. All the way down the spine, the neck. I can even pop my nose right here at the bridge. Even though it's cartilage, you know what I mean. Stupid information, Usually when I fidget, I'm cracking something on me. That's worthless information. Alright, well, you know what? I'm just going to call it here. I thank you all for watching. I just thank you all for watching. And I thank those that accept me. Again, I love you, my entire family, my past mother, my father, my stepmother, my stepsister, my niece, my nephew, and my brother. Not in any particular order. I just want to emphasize my brother. Because, yeah, why not? He's not a horrible guy. He's not even a bad guy. I mean, he's my brother. I don't know him that well, honestly. Mainly because we've never actually been at the same place very often. Always been separated by one stupidity or another. with my brother a whole lot. Ever. I didn't really talk to him for a whole lot. I really thought about it. Well, I love you all, and I'll see you in future videos. There's still quite a few that are scheduled, and eventually I'll start recording more. Yeah, so I'll see you next time. Thank you again for watching. If you watched all the way, I am James, also known as KahMeh, Kamikaze, Moron, Dipshit, whatever you end up wanting to call me. Have a good one.